welcome to an episode of Toro Podcast. On the podcast today, we got Jorge Guerra. Jorge, you are on the podcast for a second time because you created a pretty cool application. Tell us about it.
Well, thank you for having me, Toro. Well, as you know, we've been working, my partner and I, Jesus Salgado, we, we've been working on this idea for since May um, about how to connect people through sports using technology, pretty much. We met at the gym because he was actually watching a soccer game. Um, and I just talked to him and I was like, hey, you like soccer? I like soccer. We can definitely be friends, right? Long story short, he invites me to play over with this group of people that he knows since like kindergarten,
Hmm.
since like high school. They've been playing, they've been hanging out, they've been friends for forever. They play every Wednesday. It's called Tercer Tiempo. And dude, it's just I click right in. Amazing group of people. We just play soccer every Wednesday night. It's awesome, right? And out of nowhere, I start talking to them because I was working on a side project. Um, I'm here in Puerto Rico, and so when I moved here, I wanted to find local activities to do, but there was no like a centralized place to find anything, right? Like a lot of things are word of mouth. You have to know where you have to go. You kind of have to get lucky to find places and like cool events, which by the way here they tend to be like free and amazing, very like live music, art, you name it. Anyhow, I showed them this little project. It was an app at the time, um, and he liked it a lot. And like a few months go by, and then he takes me outside one of those nights, and he's like, "Hey, I have this crazy idea. What if we create a place where you can find people to play with any sports anywhere, anywhere you go. Because even though there are apps to find sports, um, they're not being like they're very niche, right? Like we started looking into different projects, and there's an app for soccer, there's an app for tennis, there's an app for running, there's a big one for running. um, but there is not like a social, your own social place to like set up your soccer or your sport profile and let everybody know all the things that you do, right?
Hmm.
Usually, to play a sport, you might play two or three more things, or you may like to play a new sport and want to find people with the same level, so you can play something new and try something else new. And so that's how Sporty came about. It's a social network slash uh, sport app, so you can find, organize, uh, and and play different sports. And we're taking one step at a time, but that's the goal.
That's really cool. So I got on the app and I started like playing around with it. Obviously, right now you just launched how many months ago? Maybe a couple
Yeah,
months.
yeah. We just launched at the end of August,
In
so
August, right? So it's just starting out, but like really cool
exactly.
activities already in there, mostly centralized around Puerto Rico area where you are at. But
Yeah,
of course, your view is for all across the country, all across the world, right?
yeah, and it's good that you mentioned that. So yes, like most of the events that you will see right now are in Puerto Rico. Your brother, he made a pickleball game the other day because you can actually do them anywhere.
Yeah,
Like he actually works in Philly. You can create this, like you can create an event. You can set up the location for the event,
you can
and of
even
course you
create
can
a
invite
sport
your
if it's not
friends.
already on the list. So that was really
Exactly.
cool because I was gonna create like one for all the since I do jujitsu, like all the open mats around here, and be like, "Yo, guys, you should get this app." Like, and start telling people about that. So that was like super
So
cool.
you know what? It was funny about jujitsu. So I don't know if it was you. Somebody created a BJJ,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it was probably me.
Was it? It was you. Yeah. And I was like, what is BJJ? So I have to look it up. I was like, oh, this is it. This is awesome. Like I'm learning new things as people are using it. And that's a fun thing, because the people that are using it right now, they see the concept. Of course, there's a lot of work to be done. But like if we get to the place where it does what we imagine it can get to, it's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be very,
That's
very
really cool. Now, if we can dive like a little bit in the back and get a little nerdy, like
cool.
what languages did you use? What's your current workflow? Are you the only
Yeah.
developer?
Yeah. So as you know, like my background is computer science, but I'm not a app developer. I'm a data scientist. So I taught myself Flutter. Flutter is this framework by Google
Mm-hmm.
to develop um, mobile apps and web apps. So pretty much mobile apps in Android and iOS, web apps, also desktop apps, all in one framework. So it's really cool because you just program it in this in it's called Dart, the language, and it just works almost everywhere. I mean, you have to do minor tweaks here and there, but it works really well, and I loved it because it just I knew how to program in Java, and it's a mixture of like to me it looks like Python and Java combined, like the good
Yeah.
things of both languages, where it's very easy to follow and understand, but it has a lot of like type safety, no safety, of course object-oriented programming. The structure is really cool because you create widgets and you go by like an element tree. So you go widget by widget, creating the whole app, which is I don't know, it's amazing. I
Yeah.
love it. Um, but like I said, I just taught myself that framework around 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, and it's still learning, of course. But that's the framework that I'm using. The backend, I'm using Firebase. I like I really like Firebase. The database, the authorizations, they have like functions so to send notification, like just to do the whole backend.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Firebase, and I have a Python within the functions. Um, so that works really well. And right now, like just the free tier is working out for us.
Yeah.
Hopefully, when we get to a point and they start charging us, we have enough users that and enough customers that
Now, hey, that's a good
we're
problem to have
excited.
at that point, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So
Exactly.
right now you're on
Have
the
you
free
have you used Flutter
Flutter.
or
No, I have not used
have you?
Flutter. Mostly for professional base, I'm more of a .NET developer, JavaScript, all that stuff. And then like also on the side, I do a lot of like PHP, Python, all that. So as you know, I'm also developing an application, Bull Planner. So
Which,
I'm
by the way,
very,
we should definitely you should definitely talk to me more about it right now
yeah,
because
yeah, yeah,
I was excited to hear it.
yeah. So Bull Planner is more of like right now, the one that's live is a service provider booking application. So if you are our service provider, imagine you being a personal trainer or a gym or something, and you want people that are looking for you, if they find you, then you not only have a professional
Through Sporty, by the way, they could find you through
maybe
Sporty.
we might have a collab there going, right?
There
No,
you
but
go.
I guess the beautiful thing about it, the goal of Bull Planner as a whole and why it started is because you have a lot of gyms and a lot of like small businesses that are out there starting out their business, and then they are kind of funneled into this whole like enterprise applications that have like 50 different uh things that they don't need, and they only need to look at one problem, right? So that was the why it started. And the reason that I made it is because the gym that I'm at right now like was looking for an application for booking, and every time they would bring up something, I told them like run it by me, I'll check it out, tell you if it's something that would work for you. And then I was like, "And if you can't find anything, I'll build something." And I found, you know, what I was looking for. I was like, "Oh, this would be great for them." And then I just started like kind of like developing. And then the more that I developed it, I was like, you know what? this could be something that I could actually sell. So I put out 3 tiers there. I put out the free tier. You can go on GitHub, download it today, Bull Planner on GitHub, and set it up yourself and host it yourself, and it's free. So it's open source.
Well, so it's open source.
Yep. And then there's a $20 tier. I host it for you. You don't have to worry about hosting, databases, security, any of that stuff. And I'll make sure that everything is good. And then there's an enterprise tier that includes like API access, your own database. Like if you're a service provider that's more geared towards like healthcare, that might need that separation of concerns, and you don't want your data mixed with other datas, you can have your own database. You can have everything in the for $49.
So wait, are you so the is it booking, but like it could be into like you're not just thinking about gyms, you're looking into like almost
Any
industry
service
that
provider.
requires
So if
booking.
you're a service
Any
provider,
service provider.
yeah, if you're a service
Nice.
provider, the way the application works is very intuitive. Like you set up your categories, you set up the services, whether the services are public or private. So you can even have like
Right.
private services. I'll give you an example. Like if you're a gym and you have different people coaching different classes, you can set up the booking for the coaches to be privately. So therefore the coaches can sign in, put in their hours that they work, and you just schedule them on their hours that they work. And then it's all on your calendar, and it syncs down to your Google Calendar too. So you can have like everything that's going on in your gym all in one shot. Who's working, who's coming in, if you have new students that signed in on the public service, whether it be like a brand new student. This one gym just reached out to me, and they're looking to implement it as a lead generator. So they're going to put it right on their site. And it's like, instead of them calling on the phone and saying, hey, I want to come in, what time do you guys have classes and all this stuff, they're already on the website. They already found you. It's like they can fill in the thing, and then you get an email, they get an email. It has a calendar invite right on it, so they can click on it. It's on their calendar, it's on your calendar. You know who's coming, what time, everything. You can have different statuses that you can set up, whether it be confirmed, booked, paid, whatever other statuses you want. But it's very simple. That's the idea. It's simple, it's cheap, it's affordable for small businesses. So that's
How do you envision the enterprise API like here? Just and let me give you some context. The
mhm.
reason why I'm asking this question. So our initial phase right now, we are trying to just grow the app,
Yeah.
trying to learn from the users. Um, for us, service providers like trainers, coaches, they're like bread and butter because they're the ones creating most of the nets right now.
Yeah.
Because that's how they get that's how people see them. But of course, like we as you're like mentioning, like booking is its all whole thing, right? It's all
Yeah.
territory. And so I'm thinking, and that's why I mentioned the collaboration, because if I could call your service right from the app to include that functionality, um, how do you envision? You would just provide the information, or would you create like a GUI to show and like
So
select the
if
times and so on?
XSPORTY has its own instance, right? And you want to do API calls and don't have an interface at all, that's totally okay. Like you just call the API that would be the booking API for whatever the event name, whatever it might be. The person, the customer, is in the body. Then they get an email, you get an email. Same thing that the UI does, right? As soon as the person goes through the process of selecting the time, and the next step for me would be, because right now it's like very, you pick the date, you pick the time, and then the service, of course, right? And
Do you do the payment through there?
no, I don't. And I try to stay away from payments at all, right? Payments is very, like, that's where you start getting really, really complicated. And so here's like what's coming up next. It would be a Bull Planner CRM, right? And then a CRM being a customer relationship manager, where you track your members, track your leads, track, like your expenses, your payments, your membership payment month to month. And so the way that I wanted to do that, and same goal, right? Provide small businesses with an affordable instance, right? That's the goal, right? And so right now the options are, you go with a product, I won't say the name, but these products are tiered to, like, if you have 50 users you pay this much, if you have 100 users you pay that much. And it's like, what are you paying for, right? You're still paying per transaction way more than what Stripe or anybody else would charge you. You're still paying, like, if you have SMS enabled, they mark up the SMS by like 500%. Can you believe that? That's like crazy markups for the same service. So what I said is like, okay, fine. I'm gonna create the CRM, and I'm in the process of that. I'm in the MVP state, right? Like right now, everything works, manually, and now I'm setting up the connection with Stripe. So it's like you set
Nice.
up your member, and then when it comes to payment, it takes you to Stripe. You finish all the payment process on
All
Stripe
the stuff.
side, and then I just use the hooks that Stripes provide to say this member paid, this member canceled the card, all that stuff. So there's a lot of testing that's happening right now with that side of it, because the happy path is like beautiful, but then you have like all the negative path. What if the card got declined? What if the card is all these different hooks that you have to think about, right? So that's
And
coming up next, and the idea is that they would just provide the keys for their Stripe integration, and I just hook into that, and my program just like basically goes back and forth between Stripe to get the data.
okay, so yeah, like you said, like a service provider will create a Stripe account, give you the key, so then connect to each other. You don't have to deal
Yep.
like with anything about the transaction. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, good, good.
So I mean, like, again, I don't want to deal with like crazy features and all that stuff and grow this to a point where, I have to charge them, $300 a month. It's like, no, I want like the CRM to be like $75 a month, right? The booking application is like $20 a month. So it's
Right.
very reasonable. It's like,
That would be amazing. You
yeah,
know, my barber, he was telling me how he got rid of like that booking
yeah,
service that he had.
Booksy and
It
all
was,
that.
yeah, yeah. Like I said, like I don't know, don't want to mention the names, but it was like 100 and something, like 180, 190, just to just go to a calendar and click confirm, and that's it.
Yeah, tell them
It's
about Book
ridiculous.
Planner then.
I will. I
Yeah.
definitely will. For
No,
sure, for sure.
but yeah, as far as like cost, since I'm not, since I'm using applications that I couldn't use Firebase, because it's like Firebase is very, from what I was like looking at, and maybe I was using it wrong. It's like the free version was more for like static stuff, and I couldn't do the PHP and all that I needed. I needed to go to a paid tier for that. Maybe, like I said, I didn't look it.
Oh, it's okay. I mean, I don't do PHP, so that might be.
Yeah.
But at least with, I mean, I do the hosting of the. So we have a website, like a landing page, pretty much, and then we have the actual web app, and I do the hosting through there, and it works fine. Um, the website, the landing page, I did do it through JavaScript
Hmm.
because I needed the SEO. Um, so that worked. And then in the backend, the functions, so like it reacts to certain events and whatever, that works in Python. But I haven't checked if it's
Yeah. So
interesting.
yeah, so for now it's like very, I'm paying, I think my cloud cost right now is about $15 a month. So
Who's your provider?
cloud,
Who are you?
Google, uh Google console. So it's Google
Oh,
GCP.
just
Yeah.
GCP. Okay.
So I'm
Oh,
using App Engine
okay.
and Cloud Run, those two
Nice.
things, and a
And it works.
MySQL,
Yeah, I mean, it works.
database. That's it.
Okay. Nice.
So
Well, that's the thing, right? Firebase is no SQL,
no SQL,
but
right?
it works for my case.
Yeah.
It works for my case because Actually, I like it because it gives me the flexibility to create like new fields whenever I need it for
Yeah,
an event
for me, I
testing.
need to keep the data a little bit more, especially with like multi.
For sure.
Once I got into like the multi-tenant thing of like multiple companies signing in and all that stuff, because before like I was dealing with like creating an instance for every company that signed up, and it's like when they buy the product, it would go to a page and it'd be like, yeah, we'll get back to you in 24 hours, and I would get like an email and be like, oh, so and so bought it, and I'll be like, all right, let me set up the
Uh,
database, let me set up this, all right, cool, and then like maybe an hour later send them like a link, but it's just not that professional, right? So like
no,
now I'm finishing up the whole piece of like multi-tenant. Everything goes to one side, one database. Everything's routed correctly, secured. And my son is funny because he's like, you should do like YouTube ads. And I was like, yeah, but I don't want to do it just yet because I want to get it to the point where I can set it and forget it, kind of thing, right?
I see.
And he
But what you're doing manually is great, man, because not only like you, first of all, you're not overdeveloping. You're developing what you need,
yeah,
right? So that's awesome because you're not wasting time trying to like, coming with random features that may or may not get used or
exactly,
used and
right?
so on.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so like
I like
right
that
now
approach.
it's like I my son is telling me like you should do YouTube ads, and then I was like, yeah, but I need to finish this multi-tenant thing. And so he comes into my office and he's like, have you finished the multi-tenant like a feature yet? And I'm like, no, I did not. I was working my day job. Like so it
He's
was
a
just
real
like,
manager,
yeah, he's my
huh?
manager. He's on top of me. The product manager is like
This
on
product
me about
manager,
that.
for sure.
Uh
That's awesome. Hey,
yeah,
so wait, so what else? What is other software that like what languages besides PHP do you use for
so
like that?
JavaScript, of course. You know, I know .NET. I know a little bit Java. That's it. But
Okay, awesome. That's awesome.
yeah. So like right now, cost is like between the cloud cost. Really, the biggest cost right now for me is the Google Workspace. So having like the
Yes.
emails, like the no reply at bullplanner.com for like all the like support, the my thing, like that's like $60 a month, and then you have like cloud calls. I'm up to like 80 or $90 a month, right?
I
So
know. And question, you're the only person right now working on.
yeah,
You have
I'm the only one.
yeah. Because I was gonna tell you the same thing. Google Workspace, as you scale, it gets really pricey.
Yeah,
Like just
that
to have emails, right?
yeah that's
Oh,
like the biggest. Thank God for that like initial $300 thing that they give you,
started.
right? Like
Yeah,
because like
yeah.
it gave me a good ramp to start out. But yeah, like I'm looking to break even hopefully by the end of the year. You know,
That's
uh,
awesome.
yeah.
That's awesome. Wow, that's great. We are not charging yet, so we are on just growing it. We're looking into the second phase will be that providing support for. We have a few meetings now with people that organize tournaments, so that's gonna be one of our like verticals, and then also trainers and coaches.
Yeah.
But we're thinking from them in terms of like publicity and for people to be able to find them, you know? Because right now, I mean, your kid might know because he's already telling you to put the ads on YouTube, but the only way you find a coach right now is through like Meta or maybe
Instagram.
TikTok
Yeah,
and so
Instagram
on.
is like where
Mhm.
all the business owners live. So
Exactly.
what I did is I went to like for example like a personal trainer that I know or like a coach that I know, right? And so went through the like thousands of people that follow him or that he follows, and started
Exactly.
searching coach trainer in the name, and then like
And you put on the
pri
search bar on Instagram?
yeah, and then like
Yeah.
not on Instagram, like basically in like if I go into a profile that I know it's a trainer, right? Most likely they
Okay.
follow or are followed by other trainers, and
Right.
so therefore like I can go into their following or followers and then search that list for like keywords like coach or trainer and all this stuff, and then start like private messaging them like, hey, I'm a local business owner, I'm trying to get blah 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 blah, and seeing if I get traction from that. So that was today, like I did that,
Awesome.
yeah.
Awesome.
So
We've
trying it
been
out.
doing that for sure. We've been doing that for people that like create events and tournaments because that's our main like ways that we think we're gonna add value. Because right now, as you know, like if you host an event or a tournament, you put an ad for it. Unless you're watching it or you're in the right account at the right time, you may or may not see it.
Hmm.
But what if you could get into Sporty and find out all the tournaments that are going to be in your area, the date, the cost, and it'd be cool if you can know if friends of yours are already registered, or if you need to find a team and there's people like they're looking for people to join their team and so on. So yeah, we haven't gotten like that's our next phase, hopefully.
That's awesome. How many users are you up to?
Right now we have around 300,
That's
300
awesome.
users.
That is awesome.
Um, and it has been all through word of mouth. I
Yeah.
mean, we did put a few like little ads, but honestly, like like
Yeah, I got
something
nowhere
stupid
with the
because
ads either. Like, it's
yeah,
like,
yeah. But like my partner, he's great. So he likes he just goes out and talk to people, talk to college students. He just talk to anybody that we kind of see that are kind of like like a social athlete. And we just talk to them and hopefully onboarding.
yeah,
So right now that's my biggest thing. I'm working on onboarding. It's a little painful because you have to enter your email and password and put up pictures and so on. Because I just wanted to get it out right away. But I think by the end of this week, I'll have all the social media logins. So Google, Apple,
yeah.
but hopefully Facebook too. I think those are the three main ones, plus your email and password.
That'll be really cool.
When you log in, do you prefer doing through social media or having your phone number and send you a code to log you in?
When,
What is your
like for Bull
preferred
Planner,
method?
you saying?
Or for like any app, let's say, for a regular app.
So there's three levels of like authentication, right? Like there's the basic authentication that you can do, like where you record the person, what they signed in as, like the username, password, all that stuff that's stored in the database securely, and then you decrypt it based on different methods. Uh, that's one. That's basic authentication. There is OAuth, which is what you're talking about, social media, like where there's a trusted vendor like Google, Apple, all that will verify your identification that you're trying to log in. You don't have to handle that. That's level 2.
Right.
Level 3 is like implementing passwordless stuff, right? That's like what I'm doing at work right now, which is like, pass keys, all that, like when you get that little QR code and you just sign in from your phone and you don't even need to do anything at all. It's like that is like, you know, the top tier type of authentication that you can do.
Which one? I mean, do you prefer doing that, something like that? I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
not like your, I guess QR code. I have seen the QR code when you're trying to log in into other devices from, let's say, your like a TV, like
Yeah.
Spotify or whatever. But
or
I'm
or
thinking in
even
terms of like,
the email, the passwordless, where you just say, okay, you're registered, like here's my email, and then the next step is like, go click the link in your email, and then when you click the link on your email, it like signs you in, right? Like that's another way of doing passwordless. A little bit more tedious because you're filtering back and forth.
that's why I like the one. And I don't know the technical name for it, but like when you insert your phone number and it sends you the code,
Yeah,
you just insert the code and
multi-factor
just because
authentication.
you don't have, okay, because you just don't have to log in into your email, or like, and you might have it on your keyboard already, and you
Hmm.
just set up the code, and you will never forget. Because that's another thing. People you have different emails, and sometimes they use a different email to log in into different apps.
Yeah.
But usually have one phone number that
Definitely. I mean,
is
the industry is going towards passwordless, so you start seeing pass
for sure.
keys implemented
Mhm.
in a lot of places, and I would love to get to that point too. I don't like.
Well,
I don't want to deal
Firebase
with
gives you
payments, and
that.
I don't want to deal with passwords.
Exactly, exactly, exactly. Well, Firebase gives you that for the authentication. I think those they have those services. So
Yeah, they have it
we'll
built
see.
in. My
We'll
friend
see.
has been. What about any AI assistant with coding? What have you been using?
Oh, of course, man. I mean, I'm still learning how to best use it. Right. For the ID, I'm using Cursor. Just I just jumped in initially, and it has worked out fairly well for me. Um, I use Claude a lot. I'm still like ramping up in terms of like the best way to like store the context and best way to like do the prompt. But it has been helping me a lot.
Yeah,
And also Gemini, the Gemini, not the CLI, just regular like
yeah,
web code. Gemini because it's connected to my GitHub, and so
yeah. So
I'm
you
able
use
to
GitHub Copilot Pro, right? Account same,
exactly,
and you can
exactly,
choose the different
exactly.
models. Okay.
Exactly,
Yep.
exactly. So I just go back and forth between those three in a way.
Same.
I haven't tried windsurf. I've heard great things about the ID windsurf. I haven't tried ChatGPT Codex. I have heard great things too. It's just it's that learning curve to like ramp up into
Well,
each one,
everything's moving
and
so
then
fast that's like when you're trying out something, it's like something's already out, something, and you're like,
exactly,
oh, you use Sonnet, use Opus, use all this stuff, and you're like, I'm just I already paid for this month. I'm not changing. I'm not paying another one for.
and
But
the thing
yeah,
is
like
like
if
I
I
don't
can
know.
recommend like Taskmaster.
Mhm.
Taskmaster is a great program that allows you to set almost like a project manager, right? So if my son would sit down and just write what needs to get done, right? Like I can give it to the copilot and let it build on its own. But the point being that if you really write it down in a way that's reasonable. Like, say you need to build, I don't know, hook up accounts with Instagram, right? Or like have people like put in their Instagram handle and all that stuff. So I want to have an Instagram handle in the profile, and I want to have, you start writing all the acceptance criteria. Like, if they choose to share it, it'll be public. If they choose not to share it, don't show it as public. Um, all the different acceptance criteria for that. Have the icon be the Instagram icon, all that. And what it does, it creates all those to dos, right? And you can even say in your precursor, like you say, okay, after every implementation, I want you to go write go run a playwright test. You know,
Right,
playwright
right,
has been amazing for me. I love it for testing.
yeah.
And go run the playwright test and make sure that nothing's broken. That everything that we built so far it still works. So then it's like it goes and starts implementing and just iterating and iterating on its own, right? So it's like I don't have to like interact like I'm talking to ChatGPT back and forth and frustrated because it didn't save the files and all those things that I'm sure you've dealt with, right? Like
For sure,
like you're
for
just
sure.
like setting it and it's like, okay, it's gonna go through the task, it's gonna check the playwright test, it's gonna check the logs afterwards, it's gonna look at make sure that everything's working still, and then start checking off the task as it does on its own. So
That's awesome.
Taskmaster
That's
is
awesome.
is, is amazing.
That's nice. In Claude, I do that too because you can have the planning like phase
Yep.
where you'll provide you all the plan, you can edit it and change it. But question, what exactly is Playwright? Like I mean, you talk about like the testing, but I haven't used it. Like, what
Playwright
is it and
is
how is it?
an npm package that you can include in your package.json, right? And what it does, it's a lightweight kind of testing that spins up like Chromium, spins up Firefox, spins up Safari, all that starts and start testing your application. depending on how you script it, it could be like log in, make sure that this is there, make sure that that is there, and all that stuff. Like it's like case, what do you call that? Scenario case, something. I forgot the name of it, but basically you're giving it a scenario, you're telling it how to check it, and you're telling it how to assert it that that is a true statement or not true statement, all that stuff, right? And so you
Those,
have your test cases there, and allows the application to start testing on its own. So this way you can just run the playwright and say, go test this, and it'll like log in, it'll do everything, like test here, go to the different pages, making sure that this is working, that is working, boom, 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 boom.
of
And then
course,
it's like pass, everything pass, okay, cool, move on to the next task.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
I'm definitely gonna look into it. Um, does it work with simulators? Do you know, like iOS and Android simulators?
that's interesting. I don't know about that,
I'm gonna look
because
into it.
yeah, that
Because
would be
that would be
interesting.
amazing. Because I mean, that's one of my biggest case. Having said that, what you're mentioning, because I do have the web app,
Yeah.
so I will still test a lot of the functionality through the web app. But if it works on simulators too, I'll use it for sure. Because right now, a lot of my, like, it's very manual. Like the glue testing and everything is just,
Yeah.
um,
Oh, I'm sure
I,
that there's like simulator testers. I don't know if Playwright might be the right thing for you, but again, I'm sure like a little ChatGPT conversation could
I'm
get
sure
you
a
a
search
simulator
will give me
tester.
there.
But it's definitely helpful when you're building applications to have your testing
Yeah,
be automated, and
of
because this
course.
is the number one thing that gives you the trust before shipping, right? You don't want to like break something, not know it, and then like ship it, right?
Right, right. Right now, what we do too is that, I mean, any version, very one, we're in the eighth version. But pretty much my partner and I we just tested for a few days on the test, like just to make sure, like because it's similar still, like it's not 100% the same
Yeah,
device. So, but yeah, I like that. I'm gonna definitely check out everybody.
I just got the MacBook Pro M5, the new one.
Yes,
is
how is it?
is amazing. So
I have the M4, and it was awesome when I got it. So I cannot imagine how the M5 was.
well, I took advantage. I was like, all right, well, I'm starting an LLC. I'm starting, like all this stuff. Let me buy this, and like since I'm gonna be at a
So
loss
you don't need
anyway,
an
it's
excuse.
like let me get
You
a
don't need
tax
an
write-off out
excuse.
of this.
You don't need an excuse, man.
Yeah,
This is what you do. All your like, you spend all the time on the computer. You need a
yeah.
great computer. What has been one of the features that like what caused what did you like the most?
Of the M5.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean just how fast it is.
right.
Like it's seriously like ridiculous. Coming from like my desktop that's a couple years old, you know, like I'm just running all those because I do use Docker a lot. So when I'm developing, so like spinning up
Yes.
images and all that, it was super fast to build it, and especially some of the applications that I have is like huge. The amount of dependencies that it has, you know.
I mean, what I like too is that before the M series, I used to have the record like Apple, like Intel, like CPUs, whatever. Dude, they used to overheat so much, and now it's just there's no heat.
Yeah,
It's
it's
great.
quiet.
It's just cool. It's quiet and cool and nice.
Yeah,
Um, that's awesome. That's awesome. Um, that's great.
uh, I seriously wish you all all the best, and like I know it's gonna be super successful for you, and I'm gonna be right there along with it, telling everybody
Thank
about
you,
it.
and for you too.
Yeah,
And for you too. And we definitely need to talk because I see a lot of ways that we can definitely partner up
hundred
and work
percent,
together.
100%, man. I wish you the best.
Thank you.
Great job. All right, where can they find X40?
For sure. www.x40.com. You can also access the web app through like app.x40.com. xsporty.com. And of course, we are in social media, right? And you can download it in iOS, Android, just X40, and try it out. Like I said, like you can, we're still coming up with improving things. So any feedback, any comments, and any support, highly, highly appreciated.
Awesome, man. All right, man. Take care. Have a good one. We'll talk later.
Thank you, Darren.
All right.
Say hi to
Bye.
your family.